My daughter cut ties after I asked her to forgive her stepsister for stealing her boyfriend. Now she's pregnant and I feel excluded from her life. I, 54F, have one daughter, Ella, 28, with my ex, Dylan, 57M. Dylan and I amicably divorced when Ella was only 4 years old. A few years later, I married my now husband, Jack, 55. He was a single dad of 2 kids, Jason, 25, and Sophie, 27. Jack and I also have a daughter, Bella, 17. This is about Sophie and Ella. I always thought, since they were closer in age, they would get along really well, and I was right. They were like best friends, and we were really happy in our blended family. When Ella was in college, she met this guy, Brian, 30, at a cafe where she worked. They started dating. I was happy for Ella. Brian proposed to Ella in front of our whole family, and it was very romantic. Everything was fine until one day Ella came to our house, screaming at Sophie. She claimed that Sophie had been sleeping with Brian. I told her she must be joking, Sophie would never do that to her. There was a lot of screaming until Sophie finally admitted that she and Brian were in love. This caused more commotion. We had an extremely hard conversation with Sophie. She showed remorse and was very guilty. We tried to talk to Ella, saying that Sophie was sad and maybe she should forgive her, but Ella was having none of it. She went on to more screaming and bashing all of us, saying that we were abandoning her and picking Sophie. That is not the case. I tried to make it as peaceful as possible, but Ella didn't want that. When Ella and Brian broke up, he started dating Sophie. They got engaged within a year. Sophie wanted Ella to be her bridesmaid, but Ella just said, "Over my dead body." I thought it was really cruel of her to say that, and she was being petty by holding on to the past anger. Needless to say, she didn't come to the wedding. Rather, she left the city to live with her father. She didn't contact us much, except for Bella. I thought she might need some time to cool off, but I was hurt that she kept us out of her life. We only got some insights from Bella and Jason. She only sends me cards on my birthday but hardly ever speaks to me. I think it was unfair, anyway. One day, she came to our place. Sophie and Brian were also there. She gave us an invitation card to her wedding with someone named Rye. I don't know much about him. She didn't even include us in the wedding party, plus the venue was a 4-hour drive, and the hotels in that area are expensive. We did agree to go, but at the last moment, Jack got sick and I had to cancel. When I told her the reason I could not come to her wedding, she told me not to bother. She said she made the right choice by not including me in her wedding. She knew I was a bad mom. It really bothered me. I always wanted to be by her side, but the place and time she was getting married were not compatible for us. That was 2 years ago. She never contacted us again. Then, a few weeks ago, my daughter Bella showed me a post on Instagram that Ella was pregnant. She posed with her stepmother with a caption like she will be a good grandmother. I was furious. How can she forget her whole family here? So, I called her from Bella's phone and wanted an explanation. She replied that since I never bothered to be at her wedding, I don't deserve to be in her kid's life. She said it's not just her wedding. She claims I have never been supportive of her, that I don't care about her. She went on to blabbing that she never felt like she had my support, even when she got cheated on, and I chose my stepdaughter over her. I told her it was not fair for her to hold that against me till now because it was 6 years ago. She has moved on, and Sophie has moved on as well. She is being petty by holding on to something that happened years ago. So, did I do anything wrong? Edit, I didn't forgive Sophie at all. We did tell her that what she did was wrong. She was begging Ella for her forgiveness, and also Sophie is my stepdaughter. Did you all really think it would be wise to abandon her just for one mistake? I know Ella was hurt, I acknowledge that, but I didn't take Sophie's side. I just wanted both of my daughters to have common ground. What I'm trying to say is, isn't it time for her to move on? She cannot hold a grudge against us her entire life. Sophie is happy with Brian, and I'm sure Ella is happy with Rye. It worked out for her, so why is it fair for her to hold a grudge against us? Also, I didn't abandon Ella. She willingly distanced herself from us. She cut off contact, and no, I did not choose my stepdaughter over her. I love both of them equally. If I were in Ella's place, I would have at least attended Sophie's wedding and not left town on such short notice. I tried my best, but she was the one who remained cold toward me, and I was devastated because I couldn't go to her wedding. Jack was sick, he couldn't walk properly because he had become so weak. I would have gone if I could. I sent a gift and told her we would make it up to her. It's not like I intentionally didn't go. Edit, look, I did not abandon Ella. I tried to be there for her when she and Brian broke up. I went to her place to support her almost every day. I just think it's silly to hold on to something that happened years ago. I get that she didn't want to be a bridesmaid, but she could have attended the wedding. I never pressured her. Yes, I was disappointed, but if she had politely declined, I would have never thought it was cruel. I tried my best to attend her wedding, we even booked a hotel, but Jack got really sick. We apologized and promised to make it up to her in some way, but she rejected it. Now for the update. Ella's half-sister made a post. Hi, guys, this is Bella, 17, female, the half-sister of Ella. So basically, I'm writing this update to clear things up. You see, this whole argument with Ella being pregnant happened 2 months ago. There have been fights and lots of crying on my mom's part. I tried my best to explain to her that what she did was over the line and that she cannot expect Ella to be okay with it after my mom hurt her. My mom still insists Ella is being unfair. She thinks every other person would agree with her, laugh out loud. So I gave her just that. I've been on Reddit for about 3 years. I have seen how people tear apart people like my mom, so I told her to post about it anonymously on Reddit. I even helped her with the steps to make sure she included everything, but she still left out some parts. I challenged her, saying nobody would think she was right after the stunt she pulled. It was hilarious to see my mom reacting to the comments. She genuinely thought people would be on her side, haha. She read the comments for 3 hours, you guys. Even the harsh ones were the cherry on top, seeing how people actually see her. She literally cried her eyes out. She is still in denial and keeps saying they don't know anything. Well, she had a breakdown over how cruel some comments and PMs were. My dad came home, saw her crying, and scolded me for airing out our dirty laundry. My mom demanded I delete the post. Instead, I deleted the Reddit app from her phone. Now, I'm writing this for you guys. I must say, Reddit doesn't disappoint. I've been reading all the comments, they are entertaining. My mom refuses to look at them. She's a lost cause, but I'm here to clear things up a bit. I am the observer of my family, so I've noticed a lot of things. First, my mom didn't cheat with my dad, as far as I know, since some of you were suggesting that. The divorce with Ella's dad was amicable, or at least, that's what I've heard. My mom has this weird obsession with having twins. She'd always wanted twin girls, but that never happened. Since Sophie and Ella are almost the same age, my mom pretended they were twins. I think she created this whole fantasy in her mind that Ella and Sophie would do everything together and have matching lives. Though Ella and Sophie never had bad blood, they were far from being twins. They're like normal siblings. But my mom still wanted the twin lifestyle for them. Also, just like you guys pointed out, my mom is the type of person who thinks family comes first. She wanted Ella to forgive everything and be okay with Brian and Sophie so that she, my mom, could show off to people that in our family, we always forgive and forget, no matter how hurt the other person is.